that he was injured, but we're thankful that we have had no more injuries in our emergency response team than that. So hopefully that will continue. The TBI is in the process of establishing an 800 number, and we're going to get that out to everyone so that people that have persons that they think are missing can call this 800 number, and we can begin to try to identify those individuals and begin to try to help locate members of families that are missing. That is a priority of ours right now. We know there's concern out there by family members. We're concerned as well, and we're going to make sure that that continues to be a priority here in the city of Gatlinburg and in Sevier County to identify any person who might be missing and try to locate those individuals as quickly as we can. So I just want to make sure that everyone understands that. Our next briefing, and I think we'll probably have more information. I know we will have more information as the day moves along because we are in the search process. We're getting into areas, cleaning areas, so we're going to have more information at 4 o'clock. We will have another press conference for you at 4 o'clock. We're trying to provide the media and through you all, and we appreciate you all doing this, help us to get out and provide the citizens of Sevier County and those concerned about what's went on in our area through this terrible storm that we've had and this firestorm, to get the information not only to our citizens but to our friends all across the region, the state, and the nation. And that has been something that I know in discussion with the officials in this area, and particularly with Mayor Werner and City Manager Cindy Ogle. We appreciate all of the concern from all across the nation. It's been absolutely unbelievable. The offers of assistance and the concern we have from everyone, and we appreciate that, and we're going to have more to say about how folks can assist people that lost their homes, people that lost everything and had damage. We'll have more information about that a little later on for you all to help us disseminate to the folks out there. But I do want to emphasize how much we appreciate the support we are receiving from everyone. State officials, yesterday we had Governor Haslam here. We had Congressman Rowe. I received 2 phone calls last night, one from Senator Bob Corker, the other one from Senator Lamar Alexander, both of whom expressed their support, and they are working with FEMA as well as Congressman Rowe to speed up whatever assistance we can get from FEMA. We have also had calls from President-elect Trump and Vice President Pence expressing concern about this area, and so we appreciate the support from the federal level that we have had. So I would like to now introduce and ask to come to the podium Mayor Mike Werner, Mayor of Gatlinburg. Mayor Werner.
Thank you, Mayor Waters. This morning about 3 a.m. I was laying in bed, wide awake, thinking about everything that's been going on, and looked over. My wife was wide awake, and I said to her, "You okay?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "We're going to be okay." And that's our message. We're going to be okay. And if you really, really want to do something for Gatlinburg, we're going to be back on our feet in just a real short time. Come and visit us. Come back and vacation here. Come back and stay in our hotels and our condos and our chalets and eat in our restaurants and enjoy our attractions. The beauty of this right now is we've got so many people wanting to help. It's almost overwhelming, but we're going to be back on our feet. We're going to be okay. We've lost our home. We've lost our business. Our city manager lost her home. But we're more concerned about everybody else. We're concerned about a lot of the families that may not have been insured, a lot of the families that don't know where to go or what's next. But we want to give that positive message that everything absolutely is going to be okay. Thank you.
And now we'll have Chief Miller to give us an update on the efforts that's going on in the city, and we have some areas outside the city that we're also working with the sheriff and the highway department on. I can tell you, as an update on the county, they're continuing to clear areas in Sevier County of debris. The highway superintendent continues to do that. Most of Sevier County, we have a couple of areas in the county that is happening on Upper Middle Creek. We had some homes that were either destroyed or damaged. We had some in Wares Valley. In the Pittman Center community, had some in Cobley Knob. Those efforts to clear those roads, those efforts to make sure that that everyone is out, continue as far as the county is concerned. I have been on the phone this morning with the officials from the city of Pigeon Forge. They report that their fires that they have that they've been working on, just a few hot spots left, that they had 9 homes that were damaged or destroyed in the upper part, but the rest of the city is intact, and they are moving forward, and they are assisting in county and assisting in efforts in the county and Gatlinburg. As Sevierville, I want to say a special word about them. The city of Sevierville, through its Mayor Brian Atchley and City Manager Russell Treadway, has provided a tremendous amount of assistance to not only Sevier County but the city of Gatlinburg as far as furnishing crews, several crews. So it's been, as you can see, a cooperative effort by all of the folks in Sevier County to try to address this terrible tragedy that we had, and we continue to appreciate their efforts. So now I will introduce Gatlinburg Fire Chief Greg Miller, who will update you on the ongoing activities that are going on as far as the city and county and areas. Chief Miller.
Thank you, Mayor Waters. Good morning. I'd like to start out by saying we're still working. We're still out there, and we're still doing our jobs. We had 8 new fires overnight. Most of those were brush fires due to what we had predicted were the high winds. We didn't get the heavy rain until just a little bit ago, so that created a challenge. 1 additional structure fire. And we're still having, because of the wind, trees that are falling. They're taking down power lines. That's limiting our access into some of these areas. And we have enough resources here that are helping us work, and we're getting these areas cleared and accessible as quick as possible. A new challenge that the weather is creating for us after the fire is we are experiencing some small mudslides and rock slides because there's no longer that foliage that's holding everything together. So we're having to go back into areas that we thought were previously cleared and accessible and go through some of our same processes over again. The rain is going to help with the suppression of some of the active fires. The rain may help to prevent some of the further brush fires, but I also want to say that unless that rain penetrates deep enough into that duff, into that leaf clutter, then those hot spots can still arise. So that's why I want to give you that primary message this morning. We've still got over 200 firefighters, boots on the ground this morning, that are out working. They're either fighting fires, they're driving through areas doing reconnaissance, they're doing search, and we're still working. We plan to still be working for quite some time.
Thank you, Chief Miller. We're going to now give an opportunity for you all to ask a few questions, and so I'll open the floor up. Yes, sir. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. how could I forget Superintendent Cash? Before I do that, I mean, Superintendent Cash has an update from the national park, so sorry about that.
I'll charge it to your head, not your heart.
Okay,
right.
okay.
Good morning. This morning we've been the recipients of a tremendous amount of support from across the nation. And I can tell you that those efforts have been significantly amped up overnight, and our full team of interagency support has arrived and is on the ground today in full force. The Southern Area Red Team, Type 1 Incident Management Team, and members of a Type 3 Incident Team from Colorado are on site and are now beginning assessments of damage caused from the Chimney Tops 2 fire in the park, and as well beginning to assist local resources with structure protection in local communities. This group is comprised of 70 team members and over 300 personnel who specialize in managing wildland fire and other incidents such as natural disasters. The beauty of the Incident Command System is that it allows personnel and equipment resources from all over the country to work together seamlessly with all local resources, as we have been doing thus far. We will tackle this challenge as a community with the help from our friends and neighbors from all over the country. Over the course of the last 48 hours, you've heard about the resiliency of this community. This response is evidence of our approach to this rebuilding process together. Thank you.
And Superintendent, I got about 4 hours sleep last night, so I chalk that up to that and maybe a little bit of old age. We have one more speaker before I take questions. We have representing the Red Cross, Michelle Hankus. Michelle, if you'll come up and update us on the activities of shelter.
I am here to talk about donations. The generosity of local individuals, regional individuals, and even national individuals and companies, because of the passion people feel for this area, have been overwhelming. And what I'm going to ask you to do is to send the message that when it comes to in-kind donations, things, water, food, clothing, we're going to ask everyone to take a pause. And here's why. We have areas that are filled with things, and they're wonderful, it's great, we cannot thank people enough, but we need to make sure that we can use these resources as they are meant to be used, and that is with partnership with other agencies in the area to get things kept and stored safely and then transported to the appropriate areas. In partnership with the other agencies, the Red Cross is working to make sure we have locations that we can share with you, to share with others, of where to deliver these in-kind things. But in the meantime, let us serve the folks that need sheltering by pausing on the in-kind donations. We'll get more information later, and I thank everyone so much for their generosity.
Thank you very much, Michelle. Now I think that I've recognized everyone that we had to speak, and so we'll take a few questions. Yes, sir.
Mayor, do we have a confirmation on any of the deceased as of yet? I know that there's a gentleman looking for his wife and his daughter, and I was wondering what the status is.
We do not have any confirmation or any identification. It's my understanding. Is that correct, Chiefs? We do not, but we're working on that, and hopefully this gentleman that you're referring to, we're going to release this number for the missing persons line very soon, and when we get that, we'll start working with the TBI to coordinate trying to locate his family as well as other family members out there.
Thank you, sir. Do you have a sense of how many people are still taking shelter in Sevier County, and can you speak to the resources being allocated just to help them out?
Yes, ma'am. We have the number that we sheltered last night. I understand, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, we went from like 2,000 to 200.
About 300.
About 300. So we went from 2,000 that we sheltered the night before to about 300 last night. So we had a significant reduction in that, but we're still trying to work with those 300 folks and provide as much assistance to them as we can.
Any idea what the latest numbers are for the unaccounted?
No, sir. We'll probably know more about that at 4 o'clock when we get this line open and maybe get some numbers from that, but we don't have any information on that. Yes, Kyle.
Just curious, for people that are looking for somewhere to go to live, is there a system set up to help these people find somewhere? I had someone come in my neighborhood last night saying, do you have anywhere?
We're going to work on that this afternoon. That is a priority. Our priority has been this search and trying to find and the safety of individuals. That's going to continue to be a priority. But this afternoon, that's going to be one of the topics of discussion that we're going to have with the various officials about how to address that issue of those folks that don't have anywhere to go. But we're going to address that. Yes, sir.
You mentioned 45 people taken to a local hospital. Any idea how many people are taken to other hospitals around? I know there were a couple people taken maybe to Vanderbilt.
I think as I understand it, those individuals went to LeConte first and were transferred from LeConte. So I think 45 is a total as far as I know. Yes, ma'am.
Mayor and Chief Miller, how can our viewers around the country be praying for this area? How can our viewers around the country be praying for this?
We just ask for prayers from everyone. I mean, that very important. Very important to us. This is a community of faith in Sevier County, and our people rely on that, and we rely on the prayers of people all across this nation. So we're very appreciative of that.
You're talking about faith. I'm sorry. Just getting back to the missing. Talk about the mood and how you guys keep your spirits up as time continues to pass. We hear that there's officials from Knoxville Search and Rescue that have come down to assist. I don't know if you can confirm the details of that, but as time passes and these families are looking for their members, how are we keeping everybody spirits up?
It's a very difficult thing for everyone. I mean, we're concerned about folks that haven't been accounted for, and as I said earlier, we want to assure these folks we're going to do everything in our power as a community to find their loved ones. That is a priority of ours, but it's troubling. We're concerned. We're praying. We're going to do everything we can. The chief may want to address the specifics of that.
Very good question, and I appreciate that question. We're concerned about the mental health of everybody, the victims, the responders, and even all the people on the fringe. If it hasn't affected them directly, they know someone. So we've got some disaster mental assistance. We've got the Chaplains Association of East Tennessee through the Fire Federation. We've got 6 of those on staff here at the command post and through staging. They have been doing walkthroughs at the shelter, talking to some of those evacuated persons. They've been going through the staging area, talking to our first responders, seeing if they were okay. And so that is something that we are very conscientious about. Most of the responders are going to keep their head down and they're going to keep working. And it's after this is mitigated that typically comes to the surface. But we're trying to at least get that awareness out there. All of these people that are responding in from all over the region to help is very much appreciated. And it's also, I would be remiss if I didn't say, our own firefighters, that their heart of servantship, that they've not wavered. Even the ones that's lost everything and lost their home and everything else, they've not asked to be off. They've been here and working. So, but yes, we're working on the mental health side.
Can you tell us about the 4th victim, how they died, where they were, the circumstances? Did they die in the hospital, or was a body discovered?
I'll let law enforcement.
Chief Bracken, you want to address that?
They were discovered at a motel site on Highway 321, and
That was the latest one, wasn't it?
that was the latest.
Yeah, but
The other
ones-
3 were in the county, if you're asking me.
North Chalet Village.
North Chalet Village.
They were found in the county?
Yeah,
Their
we-
bodies?
North Chalet Village, just another area of Chalet Village that's
The-
right outside the city
The
limits.
first 3 were found, as we announced yesterday, in the North Chalet Village area. And what is the name of the road? I can't remember the name of the road. Chalet Village, North Chalet.
Boulevard.
Chalet.
South- Boulevard.
Okay.
Shelbyville's Boulevard.
Those are the three from yesterday. The fourth today was found at a motel on 321 called Travelers.
Travelers?
Yes.
Hotel burn as well?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you have an updated list of structures damaged? Do we have an
No.
updated list of structures?
No, ma'am, we do
No,
not.
we-
Not
we-
at this
we-
time.
We're still going with
we're-
150 plus.
Yes, we're working on that, but we do not have an update. Yes, ma'am.
I actually have a question for Chief Miller.
Chief Miller.
Talking about overnight, how the weather's impacted this. Can you restate total acreage burn and the containment level, how that's changed?
I really can't answer the total acreage question. And the reason being is most of the time you get a damage assessment for acreage from overhead. The weather has prohibited that. The smoke, the wind, the rain. So we're really not even doing a damage assessment focus as of yet because we're still in a search mode. We're still been in active firefighting mode. That phase is yet to come, but it's coming. So the only things we've known, so there's no way to give you an overarching view. It's significant, but there's no way to put a number to that yet.
Chief Miller, we've had a lot of
Just-
viewers.
Okay,
It was
we
previously
get this
discussed
one.
that this may have been the cause of a man-made or man-started fire. Any confirmation or new information on that, or what the start of this most recent fire may be?
Superintendent.
Yes.
That's Superintendent Cash.
Yes, that's also under investigation, but at early look at it, it appears to be human caused, but we have a team of investigators that are looking more thoroughly into that.
We've been looking for, we've been announcing on our newscast that there's a couple missing from Memphis, and they have three children in the hospital at Vanderbilt. With any idea where they are, have they been located?
We are aware of that information. I don't think we can confirm anything on that other than we have confirmed, and you might want to address that, Chief. Whether they're adults.
They were confirmed as adults.
The three that in Vanderbilt has been confirmed as adults. There was a report that they were juveniles, but we were able to confirm this morning that the three at the Vanderbilt Burn Center were adults. So that's all we know about that situation, and hopefully again as we address working with the TBI on trying to locate these missing folks, we'll be able to address that issue that you just brought up. Yes.
A question for Mayor Werner, if I could.
Yes.
Mayor, you have 7 children.
Yes, sir.
And we are seeing something interesting take place with us of elementary schools in the Knoxville area that are collecting money and doing fundraisers for the fund you announced yesterday. I'm assuming the fact because you have 7 children and how you approached it yesterday. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, any charity, any donations are extremely welcomed. I'm really concerned about the children also. You know, their emotions are different than ours. You know, they've, the ones that have lost, you know, like everything, it's difficult for them to cope. And I think that I just continue to give that message that we're very resilient, very strong, a loving community, a family, and everything's going to be okay. A lot of times that's all you really need to hear, and they feel better. But through the chamber and through the foundation and that'd be an avenue that they could get that too.
But Mike, the fact that elementary school children heard what you said and they are collecting money.
That's awesome.
For the fund.
That's awesome.
Touch you, I'm sure.
It does, and tell them all we love them and thanks.
We'll do it.
Thanks.
What highways remain closed, and do you anticipate to open any of them anytime soon?
That is a question, I guess, for either the city manager Ogle can address that.
Yes. All roads are closed. Okay, was that the first question? What roads? Right.
Yes, what highways?
Excuse me, they are all still closed. And we will be assessing that throughout the day today in an attempt to see what we can get opened, and we will hopefully be able to let you know about that at 4 o'clock today in the briefing.
What about evacuation orders for Gatlinburg? I think it was 14,000 people were, there were 14,000 people originally evacuated from Gatlinburg alone. Is that still in place?
I haven't heard that number. Is that, I'm not sure about that number. And the evacuations are still in place, correct, chiefs?
Yes,
Yeah.
no one-
Yeah. And actually, I think they've been fulfilled, right,
Yes.
guys?
Yes,
Yeah.
Curfew still in place for tonight?
We actually haven't discussed that yet.
4 o'clock.
We'll let you know at 4 o'clock.
The new structure fire overnight, was it a church, a chalet, a business?
It was a vacant residential home.
Chief Miller, can you talk about the search and rescue efforts of your investigators or search and rescue personnel been able to go into the larger structures like the hotels to determine if anyone was there? What's the status of the search and rescue effort on those situations?
It's ongoing. The whole area, we have cordoned it off into grids. We've got teams assigned. And it is a collaborative effort of the National Guard, the law enforcement, and the fire crews, that once we get access to an area, we're going in those areas, just as you've seen before on TV, and then we're tagging those to know that they have been checked and are cleared. So that is an ongoing process, and the only thing that is hampering those efforts is new areas that get blocked from new trees that are falling, new power lines that are falling, or the landslide or the rock slides that I was talking about.
Any idea percentage-wise what areas have been cleared and what areas you still need to?
I do not have a percentage of completion. I can get that and be ready to discuss that at the 4 p.m.
What is the message for people who are still waiting to get to their homes? What's the message today for people who are waiting to get back to see what happened to their homes? When do you think they'll be able to do that?
We'll get folks back in their home as soon as possible. As of right now, we don't have an answer to that. Safety is the main concern, and as of right now, it is unsafe, and we just can't do that until we make sure that it is a safe environment for them to travel in.
Going off of that, we've had several tourists contact us from other states who are interested in what they should do if they've made reservations or just interested in coming in town anytime soon.
Go ahead, Chief.
The police department, we're trying to get numbers established for people to call in and check on the status. And as far as that goes, we don't have a clear estimate yet when that could occur. But we're working on that, and I don't know if it'll be available at 4, but we'll get it as soon as possible.
Let me say that we're going to conclude this press conference right now, and thank you all again for being here. And I'm going to conclude it like I've concluded every one of them with 2 things. To let you know that the folks of Sevier County are, those of us that were born and raised here, our ancestors came into this area, and it wasn't an easy life. And they were tough. And that heritage has come down through the years, and this is folks with character, and they're tough folks, and we're going to bounce back from this, and we're going to be better than ever. It's going to take a little time for us to do that, but as Mayor Werner said, we are parts of Sevier County, a lot of it, Sevierville and Pigeon Forge right now are up and running and moving forward, and Gatlinburg will be, and the Sevier County as a whole will be as soon as we possibly can, and that's due to the character and of the folks in Sevier County. And I always conclude these press conferences by saying something that I've said before, that we urge the people of not just the county, the region, the state, but the nation to continue to pray for us as we try to address these serious issues about what I would call once in a lifetime. I've lived here all my life, and I've never seen anything like happened Monday night. And I hope to never see it again, and probably won't, but it's never happened. And I've never seen anything like it, a once in a lifetime disaster, but we're going to work our way through it. And again, thank you all for being here, and we'll see you again at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Thank you.
I just have one more quick question. How are you going about accounting for the missing people, and is there concern that these missing people are dead?
Well, we have concern for them. We're concerned anytime they're missing people, and we've already said we're establishing a 800 number for people to call in so that we can identify them and move forward in trying to locate them.
Chief Miller.
That's going to be a long question, which,
How you doing?
Fine, how are you?
Good.